Hey there, Krista here, and I am going to share with you today what I think every single small nonprofit leader has to know today. So, this has become abundantly clear to me. I mean, it has been for years, but over the past few months, it has just become so clear to me that a lot of small nonprofit leaders are not aware, or they're making the same mistake that I keep identifying over and over and over. So, if you don't know me, I'm Dr. Krista Kurlinkus. I own Grant Writing Made Easy and a grant writing consulting business in which I and my team write grants for mostly nonprofit clients. And so I have on my page, my website, a link to book a discovery call with me. In order to do that, you have to fill out a questionnaire that's, pretty lengthy. It takes several minutes to fill out so that we know where you are in your nonprofit and whether you're actually ready to work with a grant writer, hire us as a consultant. And what I've experienced in the last month is an overwhelming number of folks filling out that discovery call form, wanting to hire us and spend thousands of dollars either getting help finding the right grants or writing grants, but they just don't have the funding to pay us, right? So they're either making 0 to 50K or 51 to 100. We have different levels that we ask people to check. So where is your annual revenue in your nonprofit? And we ask that because we do not want to put any nonprofit in a position of financial distress by working with us. And then we get into the conversation with these prospective clients saying, you're not quite ready to work with us. So here's what you need to do to get ready. And it becomes a chicken and the egg problem, right? Like they say, okay, we don't have enough money to work with you, but we need these grants that you would be getting for us in order to work with you. So my response, my answer, my solution is always, and sometimes people don't want to hear this, most of the time people don't want to hear this, is you need to learn to do this yourself. If you are the founder, executive director, leader of a very small nonprofit, so I'm talking 500K and under, your number one priority needs to be learning how to get funding. And that includes both donations and, money raised through fundraising events, but also, and what I teach is grant writing. So your number one goal is to have the money to run the programs that you're running. And so often it's hard to tell someone that, or it's hard for them to receive it because they're saying, I'm too busy serving my community, running my programs. That takes all of my time. And often, it's a very real time struggle because they might have another job, a job that pays the bills, and then the nonprofit job that spends that money, right? And so my message, if this is you, if this is resonating with you, is that you have to cut down on whatever services you're offering to your community, cut it down by at least half. And it's going to be hard, and you're going to say, but no, everyone needs this. But I'm telling you, you are not going to survive. Your nonprofit is not going to survive if you are running 10 programs, 5 programs, even just 3 programs, and you don't have the funding to actually run those programs. I know a lot of people are self-funding, so they're taking money out of their own paychecks. They're running off of small donations only from their board. They don't have a consistent revenue stream, and that is not going to work. Even if you're doing a great job serving your community through your programs, if you can't fund those year after year, you're bringing people to you, right? You're serving them, you're giving them a service, you're getting them dependent on or used to or, customized to getting services from you. Oh, there's my door. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, so live video. That was someone at my door. Okay, so you're getting people accustomed to receiving your services, benefiting from your services, and then all of a sudden you have to close up because you don't have enough funding. And that's a problem that is just creating more problems in your community. So let's say you're offering 3 services, 3 major programs in your nonprofit, and you don't have the time to write grants and to do fundraising. You need to bring it down to 1 program only. You have to be a little bit ruthless. And what are you going to do to those people that, were used to receiving services from those other 2 programs? You're going to refer them elsewhere to a place that has a service similar to that, if there is one. Or you're going to say, you know what? If there's no place that offers that service, which I understand sometimes that's the case, but usually there's at least one other organization, provider in your community or nearby that can provide a similar service, send them there. Why? Because you need to focus on that one program, that one service that you offer, and build it and make sure you can fund it. That's your number 1 goal. Making sure you can not only run it, but fund it, okay? And you might be saying, well, aren't we sending people elsewhere and they'll never come back to us? No, because you have more that you have to offer besides being the only one that they know of that provides that service, right? You have a lot more to offer besides just that. You have things that make you unique, a perspective that makes you unique, and that's valuable. But providing a bunch of services or having a bunch of programs that you can't fund is not of value in the long term. Absolutely, absolutely not, okay? So I want you to cut down your services, and the rest of the time that you would have been providing those services, you as an individual are learning how to write grants and get grant funding, okay? I can't emphasize or overemphasize how important this is to your long-term success and even your immediate success. Because when you don't have the funding to run your programs, you're coming out of pocket, you're stressed out, you're not able to hire enough people to do good work, then the services, the programs that you're running do suffer. So that's number 1. I want you all to realize that that is what is going on with a lot of your small nonprofits. I typically see this for nonprofits that are under $500K a year, okay, in revenue. You have got to get those program or that one program funded well before you move on and build, okay? And hey, you can even tell the people that you serve, I'm temporarily shutting this program down, suspending it, because we don't have the funding to run it. And maybe that'll give them a little bit of incentive to start fundraising for you, or start communicating to the rest of the community that this is a great program, this is a great nonprofit that they need to support. So don't be afraid to show the people that you are serving, your beneficiaries, that you need help, right? That you need money to run these programs and provide them with the services that you're providing, okay? Now, let's get back to what is going to be taking up your time once you scale down with your services. You're learning to write grants. So this is no longer a chicken and the egg problem, because the major issue most people have is they say, I don't have the time to learn to write grants, or I don't have the time to write them. You have the time. You now have the time because you have scaled your programs back, and you need to devote at least 50% of your time as an executive director, or however you want to name yourself, however you want to title yourself. You now have 50% of your time dedicated to fundraising and grant writing, okay? Now, once you get to that 500K level and beyond, then you could probably hire a full-time grant writer or someone on contract like our team, and they can help you really automate your processes and scale up, apply for more grants, apply for bigger grants, federal grants, etc. But you're not going to get there by piecemealing things together and trying to figure it out on your own. So that is why I'm inviting you to join my free grant writing webinar. So this is a brand new one. It's called the 3-Step Framework for Getting Grant Funding, and I'm going to put the link below so that you can click on it. There are multiple times a day that you can join and watch. You're going to get some free content and training as well as a free workbook to take away. And I want you to know that I've put this framework together after years and years and years of working with clients and thousands of students to show that writing is not the only or the primary part of grant writing. You need grant readiness. You need a full grant pipeline of great fits. And I mean fit, I mean it's a perfect fit for the work that you do and aligns with the funder's work. And 3, then you have that winning grant narrative. So this 3-step framework is going to take you through, this webinar is going to take you through all of those steps so that you can implement them on your own. So I want you to set aside about an hour and 15 minutes today to watch this training, pay close attention, participate, and then start implementing with me, okay? All right, that's all I have for today. I want you all to know whatever work that you're doing in the world, I appreciate you, thank you, and I'm here to help. See you soon.